So, remember I told you City Council had a letter from Habitat for Humanity asking permission to close off a street here, and here we go, and that's the reason why back there. Take a look at what happened today down here at Habitat for Humanity's new dwelling. 7 people.
So welcome to the grand opening ceremony of Habitat Boundaries 7-unit multiplex. I'd like to introduce our visitors and our speakers today. We have MLA John Slater representing the province of British Columbia. Mayor Brian Taylor and Cher Weir from Council. I'm looking for Ann Jensen. Is she here? From Habitat Canada, we have Kathy Borowick, Director of Affiliate Services, and Catherine DeLutis, Director of Affiliate Development, and Terry Petkow, Director of Building Services. We have Ray Hansen, our illustrious Board Chairman. Chris Thompson is co-chair of the Phoenix Foundation. Peter Chow is also here on vacation and will not be speaking. He's lurking somewhere. And we have our 7 partners up here in front wearing their shirts. And James Elliott will be addressing you as well with a bit of a speech. His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, Governor General of Canada, sent his regrets that he could not attend our opening and conveyed his warmest greetings and very best wishes for the success of the event. Our Member of Parliament, Alex Adamanenko, also sends regrets. He's attending the NDP conference in Newfoundland this weekend. He plans to visit our project as soon as he gets back. The Real Estate Foundation representative was going to be Paul Shreenan, and he notified me last night that he had some last-minute changes in his agenda and he had to be somewhere else. That's who we have. Thank you all for coming out. It means a lot to us. In 2009, Habitat Boundary was approached by a group of parents and asked to consider building some form of affordable housing for their developmentally disabled children. In spite of the fact that our previous partners have all been families, mostly with children or all with children, our board of directors decided we could not discriminate against individuals if they met the requirements that we have. Habitat Boundary had the opportunity to present our model of affordable home ownership to this group, and explained that if we could find a way to construct something that they could actually afford, we would consider it. At the time, we felt that it was highly unlikely, but we felt we needed to give them a good shot at it. An informal meeting to discuss individual specific needs for housing happened, and I made up a list of everything that I heard that day and wrote it all down and sent the list to a friend of ours, Jeff Ratzlaff, who did a preliminary 3D drawing based on the needs. The facility you see here today has not altered very significantly from that original 3D drawing. We've got a couple doors in different places, that's it. During this time, Habitat Boundary decided that all of our future builds would be green. And so we went through the process of becoming registered as a Built Green builder and took the necessary training courses down in Vancouver. Our preliminary drawings were sent to Keystone Appraisals and Trail to ascertain a fair market value of the completed project. We needed to know up front if the project could actually be affordable for our partners on their disability pensions. The results were affirmative, but barely. Because we had committed to building green, the preliminary drawings were sent to Blue Green Architecture, who do nothing but green architecture, for design and blueprints. Next on our agenda was an integrated planning meeting where we drew as many experts and interested folks that we could muster to discuss our plans and share ideas. That was extremely beneficial. Our building permit was issued in June 2011. We began pouring foundations the next week. With help from our first ever international volunteer, we had Glenn Chevrolet from France spent a month with us here. Because this project was so much bigger than any we had undertaken before, we solicited help from Community Futures, who suggested we apply for the Job Creation Partnership Program. And that ended up providing us with 5 workers, 5 days a week, 7 hours a day for 37 weeks. This was a huge relief for our volunteers. Sunshine Valley Community Services provided supervisors. I'll take that back. We had supervisors that were walking hand in hand with our partners to ensure their safety on the site and ensure that it was a meaningful experience for them as well. Thanks especially to Mel and Hugh. The project has taught us how and how not to construct with insulated concrete forms, put in radiant in-slab heating, construct a building that has 30% more insulation than building code requires, and numerous other green features. It's also taught us that when you respond to a specific need, in the community, the support and encouragement you receive is overwhelming. For me, the most rewarding experience has been the privilege of working side by side with 7 of Grand Forks' finest. While Habitat Boundary receives the glory for this project, we humbly acknowledge that we could not have done it without the support that all of you have provided. Thank you. 7-unit multiplex is nearly complete, just a couple weeks off. And we have a little bit of finishing things to do. And our next projects are already simmering on the stove. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce John Slater. He's the MLA for the Boundary Similkameen. I've been informed that MLA Slater will be speaking on behalf of the province of BC, as well as BC Housing. Thank you for making this a priority in your busy schedule.
Thank you, and welcome everyone, and it is indeed a pleasure to be here to represent the BC government as we celebrate this official opening of the Habitat for Humanity Boundary Multiplex. Premier Christy Clark sends her best wishes on this occasion, as well as Rich Coleman, who is the minister responsible for housing. And like me, they are strong believers in the need to create affordable housing and affordable home ownership throughout British Columbia. This unique habitat project does that just here in Grand Forks. The Government of BC is proud to provide $242,000 for this project. These funds were made available through the sale of Hardy View Lodge, as we know, a vacant building owned by the BC government here in Grand Forks. Additionally, our government provided $93,820 through the Ministry of Social Development's Job Creation Program. By leveraging an available resource in the sale of Hardy View Lodge, we were able to provide support in this very worthwhile, affordable housing project. In fact, through BC Housing, the Government of BC has partnered with Habitat for Humanity on a number of projects in recent years, including this one, providing approximately $850,000 in grants and additional financing assistance. Through the contribution, this is only one piece of the puzzle. I'd like to acknowledge just a few of the partners who are making this project possible. The Government of Canada, the City of Grand Forks, all the people on that sign out there. You look at all the partners that have contributed to this project. And finally, the most significantly, I'd like to acknowledge and commend the Habitat for Humanity Boundary Organization for all the work they do. The pace at which you have built this project is second to none in the province. Per capita in our region, it is unparalleled. Also, I'd like to acknowledge all the volunteers and donors as Habitat, as this project simply would not have happened with the efforts of so many people. This project has brought together our community to create positive and lasting change, and it's only when many partners, as I said earlier, come together that we can realize a collective vision and see projects like this multiplex come to fruition. So congratulations and thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, MLA John Slater. Mayor Brian Taylor of the City of Grand Forks will be next. I understand he originally came to Grand Forks to work at Broadacres, a group home farm setting for developmentally disabled. Mayor Taylor has played a significant role specifically in directing or requesting that the funds from the sale of the Hardy View Lodge be directed to this project. I also recall once that he called me a shameless beggar.
I should give credit to Chris Moslin too for the efforts he made in terms of directing those funds to this project. You're going to hear a lot about the accolades in terms of this being an out-front project. I would like to pay special attention to the CEO and the board of directors who made this happen. I think it's a difficult job at best to go beyond. When you look at organizations throughout the province, you often see that big and successful organizations become superfluous, they become redundant, they're monotonous for people. This one has stayed vibrant, and I think the fact that they have weathered the storm of stitching this all together, and you just got a flavor, I think, of the complexity of putting this whole thing together and the number of players in the game. My hat's off to the board of directors. I think that with the leadership they had and with the vision that they kept to, they were able to make this happen. It's no easy feat to be on the leading edge. I'd just like to give warm regards from the City of Grand Forks, and you will have my support for other creative ventures in this community, because I know that you're leading edge in terms of making this a healthier place. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. From Habitat Canada, I introduced three of our guests. Well, we would probably like to hear from all of them. I understand that Terry will be speaking on behalf of all of them. Terry is Director of Building Services, Habitat Canada. We had a significant donation that he raised for us through his Hammer of Hope ride a year ago. He rides a bicycle to every national AGM and gets people to sponsor him, and then he splits that up to green building projects. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick. It's a real privilege to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation on behalf of my colleagues Kathy and Catherine and all of our colleagues back in Ontario and the Board of Directors that work on behalf of Habitat for Humanity nationally. We'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this project, and especially, gentlemen, in terms of your new home. It is a real privilege to be here in Grand Forks for the first time, and it's just really exciting. I had heard about this project a little while back and learned from Rick his dream and the plan behind this project, and here it has come to fruition, and what an amazing building that we have here. But what is behind what you see is probably going to be something that is not necessarily. A lot of people who were volunteered and had been part of this project clearly know what's behind what you see here, but the home that this is going to be providing to these 7 gentlemen is amazing in itself. And especially, I'd like to congratulate everyone involved here in this project in the leadership towards committing to Build Green Canada. And I can just indicate to you, Rick, and your whole team, that you are actually leaders in this area. And I hope that you have at the same time challenged your colleagues or your other affiliates within British Columbia to take on this type of commitment to building greener and to build to a level that is recognized in the province. And this is not just for the badge or the label. This is for providing energy efficiency and health and a commitment to using less energy in terms of the homes that are here. And so I'd like to congratulate everybody involved, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, and congratulations again, gentlemen, for your new home.
Thank you, Terry. I did actually have a bit of an introduction for the others. Kathy Borowick is also a pretty good Habitat for Humanity choir director. Catherine DeLutis cut us a fair amount of slack during our organizational excellence assessment, which happened right in the middle of this project, and that was quite a detailed and involved assessment that we went through. Thanks for your patience. I'm going to adjust my schedule a little bit. Chris Thompson, representing the Phoenix Foundation, needs to get back to the Fall Fair, to her booth. It's probably being vandalized while she's here. And so I'd like to invite her to come up now, please.
Thank you, Rick. We are very fortunate and grateful to have Habitat for Humanity Boundary a part of our community. Since 1996, when this society was formed, they have built 7 homes in Grand Forks and in Greenwood. This 7-unit multiple complex, which we are here to celebrate today, and which I understand is the first such complex built by a Habitat for Humanity society in Canada, is a testament to the vision and determination of its board of directors to continue to provide hands up to families and now to 7 men who will own their own residence. The Phoenix Foundation has been privileged to partner with Habitat for Humanity by providing grant funding to assist in the development of this wonderful complex. We congratulate the new owners of these great units and know that they will be enjoyed for years to come. And we congratulate the board of Habitat for Humanity Boundary for their continued support to those families and individuals needing that hand up. Thank you for asking the Phoenix Foundation Boundary to be a participant in your endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Do we have Ann here? Ann Jensen? There you are. Hi, come on up. Ann Jensen is the Program Officer, Ministry of Housing and Social Development, Employment and Labor Market Services. You need me to say that again? She's got the longest title of all of you. She visited our job site several times during the 37-week contract that we had under the Job Creation Program, and was incredibly helpful and patient, especially with monthly reports that I had to get into her.
Are we still waiting for one? I'm just privileged to be here today and to see the product that we helped to fund and our participants, the job creation projects. It's really rewarding to see the end results. And it's just an honor to be part of a project that's so successful. Working with Victor was an honor too. So I just want to thank you all for attending, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Ann. Ray Hansen is Chair of Habitat for Humanity Boundary. Ray was involved with Habitat when we were a steering committee getting organized in 1994. He subsequently left us and got involved with every other service organization in Grand Forks. And it's good to have you back now.
Well, good afternoon, folks, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests. It's a real joy to be here this afternoon and to see the fruit of the labor that's been put into this building. And I want to thank our directors and especially our half-time staff person, Rick Friesen, who is our executive director and also our build coordinator for this project, who, without his vision, we would be nowhere. We already heard the statistics about this affiliate, formed in 96, first house in 97. We have 2 units in Greenwood, and the others are here on this street. Quite often we hear the expression, it takes a village to raise a child. And some of us hear that occasionally through our faith community or just in the general public. My feeling is it takes a community to build a home. And I think that this facility, this building, is a testament to that. That the community of Grand Forks, the province of BC, our national sponsors, our partners, their families, the local businesses and so on have all contributed to the building of this building. One short story from me. late last summer, after they were starting the foundation, I came by the site one morning and was talking with Rick, and I said, "How are we doing for lumber?" And he said, "Well, I sent a letter to Interfor in Vancouver, but I hadn't heard back from them." So I said, "Well, I kind of know the boss over there a little bit. I've had some involvement with his family, worked on a committee with his wife, and gave his daughter driving lessons." Anyway, Rick, I said, "Well, how much do we need?" And he said, "Oh, I believe it was something like a lift of 2x6 and a couple of lifts of 2x4 or whatever." So anyway, I said, "Okay, I'll go over and talk to him if I can catch him." So anyway, just before I pulled out, Rick says, "Don't take no for an answer." So I'm sweating as I'm going over there because I'm thinking, what if he does say no? What am I going to do? Anyway, thanks. I get over there, and of course, big companies nowadays have downsized. They don't have necessarily receptionists in the front and so on. So I walk in the main entry, and a fellow walks by, and I say, "Is the boss around?" And he says, "Yeah, I think he's in the next room. I'll send him out." So anyway, Andrew Horahan comes out, and I said, "Well, I'm here representing Habitat for Humanity Boundary. Are you familiar with the project that we're working on?" "No, I'm not," he said. "Oh, that's not good." Anyway, I explained to him what we were doing, and I asked him if Interfor was interested in partnering with the community to supply some lumber for the project. Right away, he said, "Sure, what do you want?" After I picked my jaw up off the floor, I said, "Well, we wanted a lift of 2x6 and a couple of lifts of 2x4 and so on." He said, "Sure, that's fine. If you need anything else, let us know." So anyway, I said, "Well, what do we have to do?" He said, "Well, it'd be nice if you gave us a letter." And I said, "Yeah, we'll do that, and let us know when you want to come and pick it up." So anyway, we did that, and Rick went and picked the stuff up. He had to take a safety test to get in the yard. He got to the loading ramp, and in the meantime, he had figured out the lineal footage of what we needed. So he gave the list to the fellow, and the guy says, "We're not going to break up a lift. We'll just give you a full lift for everything that you need." So anyway, Rick returned with all this lumber and says, "I think we got enough to start another house." Anyway, enough of my stories. I just want to acknowledge as well the present and past directors of Habitat for Humanity. There's probably some here today that have worked hard in the past to initiate the affiliate here in Grand Forks and to give it direction and encouragement and vision over the last few years. So thank you to those who have participated in any way. I know I see some of the workers here from this bill, the ones that were spoken of earlier. It's been a real pleasure to get to know these young men as we've been working on the site, and that's a real reward. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Ray. I'd like to point out that we have guests from out of town. We have a few people that have come from the Habitat affiliate in Kelowna, Lona Manning and Ed McLean. Is there anybody else? Any other Habitat affiliate represented here today? Great that you guys could make it. I appreciate that you were probably both in Vancouver last night. and made the effort to make it here, as well as our Habitat Canada people. I'd like at this time to ask James Elliott, our partner, unit number 3, down at the back end. We asked him to address our board at our AGM this last year, and we were so impressed with what he had to say. We thought he should share it with you too. Thanks.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this wonderful event. Ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. On behalf of all the partners, I want to thank you for attending, and I would also like to thank the Habitat for Humanity Boundary Board for the opportunity to own my own home. This multiplex apartment building is an amazing structure, as the other speakers have already talked about. All the partners, including myself, have helped during the construction. Rick, thank you. Thank you so much for all your patience and hard work during this process. This is an amazing experience because I never thought I would own my own home at 25. Earning a lower income is restricting. That's the position I've been in for 2 years. Being selected to partner with the Habitat for Humanity Boundary Society is extremely rewarding. I cannot think of other words to describe how truly fortunate and grateful I feel right now. Feelings, emotions running through me right now are mostly positive and becoming overwhelmed. Now that we are homeowners, it opens up a great number of opportunities, not the least of which is inviting my parents for Sunday dinner. Me and the other partners have been very excited through every stage of construction. We invite you with open arms into our homes to see the finished product. Thank you very much.
Thanks, James. I'd like to introduce our 7 partners in this project. You've met James Elliott. Next to him is Ellen Sandner. Mike Winter. Chris Caruso. Charlie Kane. Brad Goosen. And Brogan Belleville. So thank you to all who have taken the time to speak to us, to James, to MLA John Slater, to Mayor Brian Taylor, Ann Jensen, Terry, Kathy, and Catherine, Ray Hansen, and Chris Thompson. Thank you so much for sharing. This concludes the oral presentations of our opening ceremony. And we'd like to move to a ribbon cutting ceremony. We didn't really have a proper place in front of a door to cut a ribbon, so we've hung one in front here. And I'd like to invite our guests and our partners. Partners only with the scissors, please. And careful. So I'd like to invite you to come up here now. I believe Chris's mom has a pair of scissors that we would like to attempt. So just line up in front of the ribbon. And if we could have our guests standing behind them, should make a good photo opportunity. If you've got a camera and want to jump on the lawn here, feel free. It'll grow back. Can you guys all get a hand on that scissor? On the big one.
Big scissor. There's a guy behind me, I don't know who's like that. Oh, good.
Everybody line up at the same time and I'll give you a count. Right? You got your scissors ready?
Yeah.
Brad?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have been up there. Yeah, ready? Everybody in there? 1, 2, got it. All right. So I've asked Pastor Henry Clausen of the Gospel Chapel to also say a few words. Gospel Chapel was very generous and made a very significant donation to the construction of this project. I'd also like him to perhaps say a few words of dedication and ask a blessing on the refreshments which we will partake of shortly.
I'm going to take a few moments to go back in history. How many of you know the founder of Habitat Humanity? What his name is? Well, it's Millard Fuller, and his leadership helped to forge Habitat into a worldwide Christian housing ministry. In fact, former U.S. President Bill Clinton awarded Fuller the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, calling Habitat, and these are his words, the most successful continuous community service project in the history of the United States. Fuller's business expertise and entrepreneurial drive made him a millionaire at age 29. But as business prospered, his health, his integrity, and his marriage suffered. And this crisis prompted Fuller to re-examine his life and re-examine his values. And his soul-searching led to reconciliation with his wife and renewal of his Christian commitment. And then they took a drastic step. They decided to sell all of their possessions, give the money to the poor, and began searching for a new focus for their lives. And sometimes a crisis anticipates a lot of good things to follow, and it seems to be the case in their lives. In 1976, he met with a group of close associates. They decided to create a new independent organization, Habitat for Humanity International. As you know, they built modest homes on a no-profit, no-interest basis, thus making homes affordable to families with low incomes. From 1976 to 2005, the Fullers devoted their energies to the expansion of Habitat for Humanity throughout the world. He and his wife have received many awards, and there's lots of them there. I'm just going to list a couple. He was named one of the most influential people in home building in the U.S. in the 20th century by Builder magazine. And one of 20 Georgians who most influenced the 20th century. He and his wife received various honors. Fuller received more than 50 honorary doctoral degrees. I've never heard of anybody receiving that many doctoral degrees in fields such as law and public service. For his leadership toward meeting the goal of eliminating poverty housing worldwide. Mr. Fuller passed away in February 2009 at the age of 74. I'm always interested in what an organization stands for, what their vision is. And so that's what I looked up. And this is what I read. A non-profit ecumenical Christian housing ministry that has helped to build over 500,000 decent, affordable homes and serve 2.5 million people worldwide. Our vision, a world where everyone has a decent place to live. And their mission statement, seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. A quote from Millard Fuller. I see life as both a gift and a responsibility. My responsibility is to use what God has given me to help His people in need. On behalf of Gospel Chapel, we want to congratulate you on just a profound completion of this amazing project. We're grateful to have been involved with you, whether through finances or through involvements of our members in this important endeavor. Thank you so much for what you are doing for those who need affordable housing in our community. Thank you for using the abilities God has given you. And we thank God, from whom all blessings flow. I invite you to bow your heads as we pray together. Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this day under your sky, so to speak, for the many, many people involved in making this place in which we are standing by a reality. Thank you for the vision. Thank you for the labor, the hard work put in by so many to make this a reality. Thank you, Father, for protection over this project as so many different people worked here. And thank you especially for the 7 folks who are now going to move into this beautiful place. Father, again, we just give you thanks. I pray your blessing on this building, on its occupants. Would you bless them and keep them? Would you cause your face to shine upon them, be gracious unto them, and turn your countenance towards them and grant them your peace. And I'll thank you, Father, for the refreshments we're about to partake of. We're so grateful. We praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Murray. I'm going to ask Irene or Eleanor to come on up and explain what's going to happen. Our refreshments are located in the common room, which is now being named the Phoenix Room. The Phoenix Foundation cannot support housing for individuals, but they can support a common room. So they funded the construction of our common room for the guys. So we have, in honor of that, named it the Phoenix Room. You'll see it when you go inside. Eleanor will tell you what to do next.
Okay, while I'm talking, those people who want to move the juice and the sandwiches and everything, do it now. I've got people bringing juice out of different fridges. There's none in the common room. This common room is going to host our sandwich table and a beverage table. We also have a cake that Overweighty made for us. You can look at it. And I'll give you pieces from the edge so that we don't disturb the nice design in the middle. Okay, so before you come in here, I'd like you to give opportunity for the people to bring the food through here, okay? Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Eleanor. And once we're done eating, I'd invite you to, I'll open up the building and feel free to walk around and look at it. I'd ask you, please don't take food inside. Eat it either in the common room or out here. Don't take it into the individual units. We'd rather just clean up one at the end of this. Thanks.
No, not really. Okay, nice. All right,